Insurance Toolkits is the premier platform for effectively quoting final expense, simplified issue term life, and Medicare supplement policies. That's right. The intuitive underwriting software eliminates potential declines and provides accurate quoting for dozens of carriers. Medicare supplement underwriting is one of the most difficult things we have to teach a new agent. Visit insurancetoolkits.com to start your free 14-day trial today.
Yo, it's Johnny Brock today on the Insurance Gurus podcast, and I got my good buddy and family member, Will Chapman, with me today. Some of you guys probably have spoken to him. He is agent support.
It is awfully awesome to be here, right outside the door at the desk, talking.
I agree. It is awfully awesome to be here.
Yeah, man.
So we got a couple things we're going to talk about. We are, years behind the normal, intelligence, and knowledgeable Justin Brock and Steven Martinez. They're kind of light years ahead of us, but we got some things we can talk about and hopefully, bring you guys some value.
Some thought-provoking conversation. Maybe a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
Take it a little bit deeper.
Some thought provocation.
Yeah,
provocation, or however you say it. But listen, Steven just had a baby girl.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna let's see.
Hey, there it is. That's right.
Steven.
Yes, Steve.
Justin is in Orlando with El Jefe, the website master. But yeah, so really what I wanted to talk about in the beginning today is the relationship process in sales and how I believe people make it way too transactional. So I feel like people think, and you can tell me how you feel about this. I feel like people think they have to make it so transactional when really I feel like it's better to kind of view it as a service. You're just helping people and educating them to the point of them making a decision for something they're already going to do. So yeah, I really do. And I think the transactional aspect of it is huge because I think it scares people. They're scared to ask for the sale, but really you should be assuming the sale because we are the experts. We know this stuff. We study this stuff. I tell them all the time, look, Miss Jones, I live, sleep, eat, and breathe Medicare. You're talking to the person you need to be talking to. And then I just kind of go into it as I never really say, all right, so, if you get on this plan or are you going to buy this plan? It's not really the way you want to do it. You want to talk to them and be very knowledgeable and educate them on why they should be doing what you're pitching them.
Well, that's really true from what I've seen, what I've experienced, but you also have to consider the system that you're plugged into as well. Whenever you're handed a script or something like that and you're asked to read from that script, you don't want to do too much variation. It's really hard in some situations to build a relationship because it becomes transactional. But that's when it comes down to your personality, your delivery, your tonality, the way that you actually sound. Are you confident in what you're saying? Is your goal to actually help who you're talking to, or only to help yourself? And you can't only have one side of that equation. They both have to be there.
Yeah, I agree. I think people, if people focus on just helping the beneficiary, you mentioned helping yourself. It doesn't.
Well, you have to.
We're in this to make money. We're in this to build businesses, but if you focus on helping others, you will help yourself.
Absolutely.
And your business will be helped. So I think the system aspect of it that you're speaking on is a really, really valid point, because if you're plugged into the right system, number one, they're going to teach you that if you're providing value to these people, you're going to be fine. And the system is huge because, like you said, if you're plugged into a script and you're calling and, all that jazz, you're reading from the lines. Now, it's different for some people. Like we were in Florida, Medicare Bob's office, where they have a call center, and they, those people are in there answering calls and they're reading from a script. But even then, you can take that script and mix it to your own. As long as you hit all the points, that's what matters. You hit all the compliance and the regulation points. That's what matters.
Yeah, a little bit of freedom, whole lot of script. But when you have good script writers, it's fine. And that's really where it comes in, is having somebody who's talented enough to put that together. So every time it's repeated, it's replicable. So
I think the biggest part of sales, and this is what I was talking to David Manaya about in Florida, is that, if I asked him, I was like, so if I worked here, could I, instead of saying this, could I say this? Because I'm very like, okay, now, Mrs. Jones, this is what we're going to do. This is why we're going to do it now. I need you, give me your Medicare number because I need it. And I'm, it's a lot of people are scared to ask for that because they're so scared of rebuttals. Just don't be scared of rebuttals. You talk to 100 people, and the great thing about it is if you have a lot of activity, you're going to get better and better and better. You're going to handle objections better. You're going to be more confident. The problem is people procrastinate and they keep putting it off. Today I called 6 people. Yesterday I called 5, and tomorrow I'm going to call. Like, you need to be focused on contacts especially when you're starting out. But really, if you're still selling and you're not in that part of where you're trying to scale and grow your agency and add more people in, you're still selling, full time. You already know it's contact attempts. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me in people's mindset, and it's not just the agent who's on the phone. There's a lot of psychology that actually goes into the to the whole process, and everybody has their own personal way of building that relationship and building that trust to ensure that that person is gonna call you whenever they get that weird call, and instead of actually talking to that individual, they want to make sure that they can trust you. But it's weird because whenever you're actually trying to build a rapport with somebody, especially over the phone, and you're not talking to them face to face, there's always that wall that they put up. And like you just said, there's that apprehension to say, okay, I'm really just about to go for it, assume this, and really try to help this individual, whether or not they
see it that way.
Yeah, they see it that way.
Yeah.
And then when they see the final result,
right,
that's when that relationship is actually secured, and they stay with you for the duration. And that's what makes Medicare so awesome, is that it's really the only. I guess other than not even PNC so much. People were pretty loyal to the PNC agents, but Medicare is there's a lot of loyalty there if you do right by people. So.
Well, these Medicare beneficiaries they're sweet. They've already been through. Most of them are retired. They've been through all the crap that we're going to end up going through. They just kind of they just need somebody to relate to, I feel like. And honestly, it is a relationship building process. That's all sales is, and that's whether you're talking to a 35-year-old, you're trying to sell them a $5,000 ticket to Medicare-Con or sponsorship to Medicare-Con, or if you're talking to a 65-year-old Medicare beneficiary or a 75-year-old Medicare beneficiary, it's just a relationship building process. I've had times where I'm talking to people and they're giving me all these rebuttals, and I'm acknowledging the rebuttals, and then I just continue to talk to them. I feel like a lot of times if you just continue to talk to them and keep them engaged, eventually they might, in the same phone call, they may just be like, you know what, let's go ahead and get this done. I told you I was going to, go, try to look around, but let's go ahead and get it done. I've had that happen before multiple times. So I think one big key in the relationship building process and sales for Medicare beneficiaries is really just to kind of keep them talking, keep them engaged, because that they to be honest, they need confidence in the person they're talking to more than they need anything, because it's peace of mind. They get off the phone and are like, okay, I feel good about that decision. That guy was, or gal was very knowledgeable and sweet and built good relationship with me.
Yeah, well, when you continue to talk, when you continue to have that conversation and you don't allow the objection to completely stop you in your tracks, which sometimes it can, depending on what kind of response you get. If it's a sharp response, your immediate response, well, I'm sorry to bother you, Miss Jones, that kind of thing. But the more you can keep talking, eventually, and generally and it happens with you a lot when I listen to you talk, you will continue to talk, and eventually you'll say something that will hit home with them, you'll make them laugh, or you'll really resonate with them in some kind of way, and that's when everything really starts to go a whole lot easier. You become a lot less authoritative once they get on board. You become very, very
Sweet.
well, sweet, yeah,
Sweet young grandson.
Yeah.
Because at first at first I think for me it's kind of like I'm a different type of person, but when somebody allows me to help them, they become my favorite person.
Yeah,
Because like I do know what's best for you. I know how to make sure you're in the best situation, and I have a different type of personality. And when I speak to somebody in the very beginning, I just want to instill confidence in myself, in myself. So that's the main focus for me, is just talking to them. And a lot of some of the key phrases I use. This is my bread and butter. I live, sleep, eat, and breathe Medicare. I say that to them all the time. And another one is, and people are reluctant to say this, this is huge, and it has helped me so many times, and I know you've heard me say it.
love you.
No, don't say that to them.
Okay.
Haven't. Yeah, I have once actually, and she was like, I love you too. It was great. But anyways, I told her, I tell them, look, Mrs. Jones, Mr. Jones, I'm trying to build a business. It's not in my best interest to not do the right thing for you. And I had somebody yesterday who we had put her on a certain plan last year at an AEP for a certain reason. She calls, or I call her. She's like, I was about to call you, yada, yada, yada. She's not happy with a certain aspect of it. Oh, her doctor didn't accept it, which in the system it says it did, but that's beside the point. We double checked with the other carrier. We went with the other carrier, but she was very, very sweet to me. And I told her, I was like, she said, look, I like you. I've been telling my friends about you. And I'm like, look, I promise you, I'm always trying to do the best thing for you. The main reason I went with that plan, and I'll just go ahead and put this out there, is because there's no deductible. So we had talked about it during AEP. She didn't really want a deductible. But the other plan we went to has a small deductible, but it's got a $2,000 lower maximum out of pocket. So I told her, like, this is the best plan. And your doctor will accept it. We just called them and verified that. And I said, look, after she told me, I've been telling my friends about you. I'm hoping that you're the real deal. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm trying to build a business. I want you to be satisfied. That's the number one goal here. And these are the plan I put you on last year is the second best plan. The one you're going to now is the best plan. The problem is that deductible. So we had to kind of go over that, but it's really not that difficult. You just have to be honest with these people, because at the end of the day, that's honesty, and they like that authenticity, because you're telling them, hey, I'm trying to build a business here. We've got over 15 to 20,000 clients now that are satisfied, and we have always made sure that they're in the best situation possible. And we're just trying to help as many Medicare beneficiaries as we can. So I assure you, I'm not out here to do the wrong thing just for a commission check. She even mentioned commission. I'm like, Miss Jones, I get paid the same thing. It doesn't matter whether you go with this one or that one. It makes no difference to me. So you just have to tell them that they don't care. You just be honest and authentic. That's the biggest takeaway that you can do for people, because they pick up on that and they like authenticity. They like realness.
Especially demographic we deal with. There's a lot of people, and we all know this, turning 65 all the time, but that particular demographic is about that trust, and you have to build it. It is the most important thing to them, and it's important to their kids. And the more you get into this, the more you'll start dealing with wives and kids and husbands of people. The whole family really needs to like you. The whole family really needs to trust you.
Yeah, that's one thing. I was training somebody yesterday, and I was telling them, like, when you're talking to these people, and a question that I like to ask, depending on who they are. I mean, if it's a 65 to 70-year-old, I usually don't ask this question. But if they're 75 to 85, then I like to make sure, really you kind of just have to pick up on it.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to 80-year-olds that are freaking, awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome. But the people who I talk to, and I'm like, let's just be authoritative and keep this going. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun to talk to these people and just keep doing this. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and tell you about Go Guru Pro.
It's time to grow your agency like a guru. Introducing Go Guru Pro. The Go High Level platform allows for minimizing software-based subscriptions and grants control over several facets of marketing and communication. Automate your workflow, communicate with your leads, book appointments in advance, and house all your clients in one secure location. Visit goguru.pro and schedule your one-on-one demo today.
It's a fine. That's a fine CRM right there.
Yeah, it's awesome. Steven's a freaking genius.
He is.
You know, he's really, really good at what he does, and he's built out a lot of super cool workflows for people. I kind of want to talk about Medicare-Con really quick because I'm getting more and more excited about it. It's getting closer.
I can't wait, man.
And
I cannot wait.
You know, the intimacy of behind the agency is special, and it's something that, you know, people should 100% be at. But man, Medicare-Con's a freaking awesome event, and I'm so excited about it. It's we're gonna have, I mean, probably 350 to 450 people there. Yes, I guess about 350 attendees, and then, you know, 50 to 100 people there that are speakers and things of that nature. So I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, man. The great thing about it, and I haven't met a lot of the people. I'm meeting a lot of the people for the first time. But when I listen to some of the people talk, I mean, I heard Brandon Clay talking in Tampa. He's fantastic. He is absolutely fantastic. He's got everything that you're looking for in a speaker, and bringing really good practical information that you can implement. And that's really what Medicare-Con is about, is finding and knowing the people who are really just great in this industry, and then being kind enough just to give us that information there. And
it's star-studded for sure. It's a star-studded event, and that's one thing I'm huge about with Medicare-Con, is that we're all about practical, implementable information. Yes, we'll have a few people there that are going to get you riled up and excited and motivated, and maybe just open your eyes to something other than Medicare, like Brad Lee or Coach Burt. But the others, they're going to be telling you how to take it to the next level and help more Medicare beneficiaries, which ultimately grows your business and puts you in a better situation. So it's a lot of fun.
I mean, the thing is, I don't need, and I, with all due respect, Johnny, you're one of my favorite people, but I don't need more than one Johnny in the office with mindset. He gets us fired up enough, just him. So, you know, having that fired up mindset all the time of just go, 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 go. Having one or two of those around is good enough, and that can keep everybody going. Everybody else needs to be focused on what's going on and not necessarily
the task at hand.
Right, absolutely.
So a lot of people are huge on motivation and mindset, and I think that they watch too many hip hop preacher and you know, Grant Cardone videos and Gary Vaynerchuk videos. They need to put their head down and
if you don't apply it, you can't do anything with
right.
it. Like those guys are extraordinarily smart, gifted people in what they do, but they can tell you
they'll be the
till
first
you're blue
to
in
tell
the
you.
face, but it don't matter.
They'll be the first to tell you if you listen to all my videos. You can listen to all my videos, but what are you doing to take yourself to the next level aside from getting motivated by our videos that we put out? It's not that. Like you said, you got to apply it. You got to apply it.
You got to apply it. And you have to try it. And it's not going to work immediately. Like you're gonna experience that failure. You can't not. Well, you can't not move forward because it hurts a little bit.
You fail. Nobody fails. You just fall down and you get back up. As long as you get back up, you're not failing. You keep Will's favorite movie.
Hey, it worked.
So yeah, I mean, it's super exciting. Medicare-Con is gonna be great. Behind the Agency next month is
packed out.
It's gonna be amazing. I'm really excited. Got some actual friends in the industry that are coming, and I know it's gonna be. It will be the best one we've had so far, and you know, it's gonna get better and better and better. So even the people that were like at the first 3 last year, like. I know somebody was asking me last week, should I go to Behind the Agency? I'm like, if I were you, I would, since you've already been to this one, I would wait until we built our building downtown and then come again. Because right now we're right over here. Downtown is, a mile that way, and we're going to have our buildings down there. Everybody's going to be centralized in that one location. It's going to be a lot more like campusy. It'll be in bars, and restaurants all over the place. It's going to be a little bit more enjoyable for us to bring people in and show
We'll have a little
show
more
them our
space
city.
too.
Yeah, more space is huge.
Yeah.
So super excited about that. So what's what we wanted to talk about was a few things, relationships in the sales process, and then go to Medicare-Con and behind the agency. But yeah, we just wanted to come in today and take the place of Stephen and Justin and see what kind of value we may be able to provide to you as some younger people in the industry that haven't been doing this as long as they have. But like there's a lot of stuff that I hear them talking about, and I'm like, that's not even on my level. And at the event this past week, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what these people are talking about.
Yeah, you
so many levels to it.
Yeah, everything seems to be an alphabet soup. It's not just Medicare as an alphabet soup. It's building the agency side, knowing everything that's going on, knowing how to track and gauge and see everything. And there's so much that goes into it. It's extraordinarily impressive to see. And really, for me, I was kind of taken back whenever I was listening to all of these people talk, because I know some, but until you actually get in the room with these really, really smart people, you really just don't understand exactly what it is they know and what it is they share. So
that's so for people that haven't been to an event, you went to one last year, and that was your first one.
Yep.
8%. What was it like for you? Because it's ultimately, in my opinion, and tell me if you catch it differently. Or for me, it enhances accountability tenfold.
Absolutely.
Like when you get in the room with people and you build relationships with people in the industry and you start knowing them and like being friends with them, building relationships, and they call it networking, but really ultimately, if you go into it as a relationship building aspect, it holds you accountable when you leave, because you're friends with all these people that are going to continue to grow. So why would you not grow with them? Right.
Well, you have to be able to separate the difference between comparing yourself to everybody else that's there, and then also not letting yourself down and not letting them down too. Because the thing is, when you make these friends and you're talking to these people and these new acquaintances, they don't want to see you fail. They want to see you do well. And they can, again, it goes back to the applying things. You can't just wait for people who are around you who are extraordinarily successful to make you successful. It's about using the information that's available to you and not wasting the opportunity. And the thing is, when I went to 8% and I walked in there and I saw the room and I saw the lights and I saw the people, everybody with just so much energy that was there. I completely understand how that changes people's life. And when they walk into that place and they've never seen anything like that before and they want to be a part of something, it really drives you to continue. And the timing of it is great. Right before AEP, it gets everybody fired up and ready to go. So it's, 8% was one of the coolest experiences that I've had, and I'm excited to continue to go to these conferences. I'm excited for Medicare-Con, and really, but for me, behind the agency is one of my favorite things, because I love that intimacy, that one-on-one, that actual seeing the growth in people's eyes and that those light bulb moments that they get.
Wow. I agree, sir.
Yeah, man.
We're looking at the camera over here. It's all blurry.
Got a little blurry on us.
A little blur action on us. So yeah, I just think that one huge thing for people to understand is that when you look at something like Medicare-Con, that is a Medicare specific conference. There's going to be a ungodly amount of practical, implementable information there into your business. So you're going to Medicare-Con, clearly you're in Medicare. You're either in Medicare or you're a vendor and you're trying to, help people that are in Medicare with a certain aspect of their system, right? And that's one thing you have to remember. If you're like on the fence, which conference should I go to? Well, if you want to go and be super motivated and hyped up and, all that jazz, Medicare-Con's great in that aspect. But the real value of it is that you're going to be learning way more than you possibly could. So anywhere else with Medicare specifically. So if you're in Medicare and you're on the fence, Medicare-Con is the one you want to go to. You're going to be hyped up. You're going to be networking. You're going to be growing with people, and you're going to be learning more about your business than anywhere you'll ever learn it from.
And if you can't,
100%.
and if you can't get there, there's you can watch it from home.
You can do the virtual.
And this isn't necessarily just a big sales pitch for Medicare-Con. This is us telling agents out there who we talk to on a daily basis to say what's kind of the next step. How do I start to generate more high intent lead flow? How am I supposed to do these things? And that all of that information is going to be relayed. How do I talk to people on the phone? We got people who are the best in the country at telesales. So, I mean, it's not just one thing that's going to be there. We're talking about a lot of information that's there. So whether or not you can be there in person or whether or not you watch it live, virtual, however it is, take that information, try to use it.
And I will say this, yes, for $97, the virtual is worth it. That's not even a question. But the real value with these conferences and places like Medicare-Con is
being there for sure.
Yeah, the actual networking happens at the bars. It happens at the restaurants. It happens in those situations.
In a hotel lobby.
Exactly. When people are letting loose and really discussing life and discussing business, because at the event we're going to be focused on the speakers. We're going to be listening to what value they're bringing, or the breakout sessions, what value they're bringing.
Yeah.
But afterwards, you get to talk shop, whatever. You get to talk crap with a bunch of people, and the amount of stuff that you learn there is hands down the most valuable aspect of being at a conference. That's why, you have all these conferences. You can go to whichever one you want to go to, and, honestly, as long as you stay outside of of course you go to the speeches and all that stuff and you learn, but in my opinion, the best value is the networking afterwards. Yeah. It really is. You're just gonna and really it's the relationship.
Hey, it's just more building relationships.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
And the accountability. You're not gonna catch accountability sitting in there watching speakers and then going back to your hotel room at night. That's not where you're gonna get the accountability. The accountability is gonna be building the relationships with people that you've never known before, and then after you leave, you're still cool with them, and y'all got a great relationship, and they help you grow. The first 8% I went to when I was selling, so I went and I was nothing but a bum, and I was just going because my brother loved me.
Don't be so hard on yourself, man.
I was a bum. I enjoy that comeback story. It's cool. I was a cook. My brother brought me because we didn't have set at the time filming for us, so I was just following him around with cameras and all that. I went there. I had like $19. Anyway, the next year I came, I met Josh Lustig. And I told him, I was like, dude.
Who will be here, by the way.
And behind the agency.
Yeah, behind the agency. It's going to be awesome.
I told him, I was like, dude, I'm going to stay in touch with you because I'm about to kick ass at this. Sorry, Justin. I'm about to kick butt. Maybe Sid can bleep that out. But I told him, I was like, I'm about to do really well, and I want to stay in touch with you because you motivate me. You're a young guy who is I'm going to make you hold me accountable.
Yeah.
And we stayed in touch. And it was it did help me, and those types of relationships is where the most value comes from events and things of that nature, for sure.
Absolutely.
Did you meet anybody last year that you stayed in touch with and has helped you grow?
Me in particular, you're talking about over at 8%.
Any behind the agency 8%, because you've been here for all the behind the agencies last year, and I think the behind the agencies people coming in was huge. And if not, it's no big deal.
Well, I mean, as far as, that building of that really good friend relationship, holding me accountable, not so much. But I do speak to a lot of the same agents a lot, because whenever they're getting in touch with me, they're having basically follow-up questions for things that we talked about in the past. And there's an amount of trust that they have in me to know that if they have that question, I'm going to either have the answer for them or be able to get it for them pretty quickly. Mainly because, this is what I specifically do, is make sure that the agents are assisted and helped in any way that I possibly can, realistically.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I'd say, man, just from me to you, try to find you somebody that you're like, all right, let me chat with this guy more regularly, and just be like, hey, look, man, I like what you do. I think you're an interesting fella or lady. I would like to stay in touch with you, and just use you as a little bit of accountability partner.
Well,
that's really what I told Josh Lustig.
There was somebody that I met in Tampa, fellow that works with Tony Merwin, Jeff. He's a recruiter with him, and he was able to impart to me some very, very good information. Somebody who I might actually start looking up as, kind of a mentor type, because he's so wise in what he's doing. So there are people that I'm meeting, and it's exciting. But the thing is about me, and I guess if you ever get to know me, you'll find out. I love being kind and open.
Very nice person.
Yeah, opening up and really getting down, talking about the deeper things and things like that. But when it comes to the buddy relationships and things like that, those are things that I struggle with, things that I'm working on. It's part of my personality that I am attempting to work on, because I see the value in that. I'm a more of a practical guy. When I view things and view conversations, I'm searching for the practical information and the things that I can use. And usually that's found, with a sober mind and a deeper conversation. So that's kind of my mindset. Now, there are some things that I want to be better at, but nobody's perfect.
No,
right?
well, I mean, and you can always, get better at what we want to get better
Absolutely.
at. So, I mean, if that's one of those things,
Everybody's growing, man.
That's 100% right.
Everybody's growing. Everybody's
young.
doing something different, and everybody's growing in their own particular way, and that's important.
The good part is we're so young. It's really, it's inevitable that we will experience that growth as long as we stay around all the people that we know are helping us, and
keep listening to people. That's
bro.
Yeah, you learn a whole lot.
Well, me and Will are gonna go and call people and help them, because that's really what our job is. So thank you guys. We appreciate your time, and if you haven't, go subscribe, Apple, Spotify, all the above, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel as well, and give Seth a shout out, because he is the real. All right.
Time to train like a guru. Go Guru University is an ever-expanding, cutting-edge, interactive training platform with live weekly coaching calls constructed to train agents efficiently and compliantly. Go Guru University offers a library of training modules explaining Medicare A to Z, face-to-face and telesales training, SEO and other marketing, and much more. Visit goguru.university to schedule your one-on-one demo today.